Hello, this is Lynn Fraser. This is an introduction to my course, Your Nervous System at Work. This combines a lot of the knowledge we have about trauma, the nervous system, how to regulate ourselves and be present in this moment, into the situations that we find ourselves in at work. When we interact with anyone, we're interacting with our own nervous system and other people's nervous systems. So it's complicated. Our nervous systems are always assessing, am I safe? Is it okay for me to be here? Neurosuppression is our unconscious perception of threat. Our primitive brain has a negativity bias because it wants to keep us safe. And then it combines that with everything that's ever happened to us. If we feel like there's some kind of a threat, we'll go into a fight, flight, or freeze. It's always good to be aware of how much does our comfort or discomfort at work right now relate to our childhood and previous experiences. The look on someone's face, the tone of voice, body language, feeling excluded, all of those impact us at work, and they have their origins in childhood. It's hard to manage the additional burdens that came along with COVID. We're all experiencing crisis trauma because of COVID-19. Our fight, flight, freeze, and fawn survival strategies go with us to work as well. So if we can get away from danger, we will. If we can't, we'll go on the defense or we'll go on the attack with words, judgment, anger. Freeze is another one of these strategies where we just get very quiet. If you're in a meeting where something's going on, you might notice that you're holding your breath. You get very still. You don't want anyone to be paying attention. And then fawning is something that's a real issue at work. People try to get on the good side of the boss or perhaps a bully. This is different from healthy cooperation. There are many grounding and orienting practices that we can use to self-regulate. One of the ways we can do this at work, if you're in a meeting, for instance, is to look around the room for cues of safety. Rest your eyes on colleagues who are friendly and supportive. Let your eyes communicate this directly to your nervous system. When you're talking in longer sentences. All of these activate the relaxation response. What can we do ahead of a meeting to help ourselves be calm and steady when we get there, especially if it's a meeting that we dread? One of the things we can do is address rehearsal. Our primitive brain likes to predict outcomes, so we use that faculty of the brain. Think about who's going to be there, who's likely to be well-regulated, who might be an ally, who you might have to watch out for. We have a sense of who that is and what they're doing. And then visualize yourself at each step. We're going to practice these tools to help keep us self-regulated and to keep us in the present moment, not in the past. Safety is an absence of threat, and we feel connected, which really points to the fact that connection is part of our safety at work. We need to be able to back off people who are abusive or harmful, and we need to be able to be well-regulated enough in our nervous system that we can welcome in people who are safe enough. In the first 3 classes, we're going to work primarily with understanding and regulating your own nervous system. We're going to do that in part through these dress rehearsals. The last class focuses on bringing our whole self to work, being authentic. When we're trying to prove our worth, either because we have these core deficiency beliefs or we have these experiences of, it's not okay for me to be here, I feel really overwhelmed, I'm not sure if I fit in this environment, I want to be liked, I want to be included. So it might not be that there's an active bullying situation going on. It might just be that we feel kind of isolated, that we don't really trust people enough to be ourselves. Dr. Gabor Mate highlights how as children, we trade authenticity for attachment in order to survive. It's only when we authentically share that we're able to feel connected. In this last class, we're going to explore some elements of social location. How does all of that affect your nervous system? These are things that we can continue working with. True belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Once we belong thoroughly to ourselves and believe thoroughly in ourselves, true belonging is ours. Becoming calm and steady as we interact at home and at work is very possible We practice these tools for emotional self-regulation, and they really pay off. They give us a more stable base, and when something happens that's dysregulating, we recognize it right away and we come back in. In this moment, we're safe, and we can bring that to work with us. I'm looking forward to the course. I hope you can join us.